What's up, guys? I hope you're having a great day. Happy Sunday. It's October 13th. And today we're in 32.1, 42.1. So we're in New Gates. We've had a great weekend and a great fall break, really. We went to a haunted house this weekend. It was Enzo's first one. And there were no scary people, so it was great. And there was like pets going through and babies going through. And it was basically just like 10 scenes set up, and it was perfect for us. And there was like blow up things. We got ice cream afterwards. So we've been having fun with our fall things, and soccer's over. So we're done with that. We get to go to our school skating parties now. This is how we help them move forward from it being over. And I've had a super mystical fall break. Like gate 51 comes around and it never fails to shock me. It's like if you can be present, life will show you everything if you just watch. Just watch it and you can know everything that you need to know. So let's look at this 32, 42. 32 is a splenic gate. So we're still looking at our fears. And this week is going to be all about the fear of failure, which is something that I literally don't even believe in. Like everything is valuable that happens, and you can't go back and erase anything. It all happens so that we can see. And so there's no such thing as failure to me necessarily. But when you start to get into the body, there's true failure. Like the spleen is the immune system, and we have to do things that are good for us and good for our body. And so much of this failure can be instinctive. It can be about the body. It can be about the place that you are, your own movement. And so let's talk about this. Tribal continuity. This is like our blood, our family, our bonds, our communities. And we're looking around and we're like, what can we transform to get what we need for our family and our communities? And it's really about adapting to what is right now. So completing some change within the tribe, the community, the family. It's about right decisions. It's about right spending. Like whatever we choose or do, we want to spend this amount of money and that's right for us to do. It's about being responsible and sticking to what works. Because when the patterns work and we have endurance, things work. We get money, we get resources, we get spirit, we get what we need to survive. But when the pattern starts breaking down and things aren't working, things can get really crazy. And I think that we're kind of at one of those points in time. And so above the line, it says conservation and consistency help us continue. They help us continue into the future. The exaltation is developing instincts through attention to detail, and the detriment is bypassing essentials, which disrupts your continuity. And so think about it like this. In 1980, if you worked at a job and your boss got a new printer, he's changing with the times, he's being a great boss, he's teaching everybody how to use it. It's a good change and it helps all of us here at the office. But today, we are so heavily struggling to keep up with our rate of change at all, because things are just moving so quickly. And it's like Zapier. This is just one thing that people use at work today. It connects every app. Just don't forget to pay for every single app and all the connections and the AI. And it's like people are looking at Zapier right now, like what's happening? Because we are just moving too fast, changing too fast, and people are struggling to keep up. And it's like, we are seeing this everywhere. We're seeing detail collapses, like too much, like 85 forms need to be filled out to do this one thing. I've got this many subscriptions. I've forgot my password and I have 28 meetings, extracurricular activities. It's like enduring these conditions can feel really tough because we're running ourselves ragged, and it all operates out of the fear of failure. It's like we are conservative to benefit the tribe. Like, no, we don't need to change anything. It's working. But when it's not working, we have to get everybody's attention and be like, look, it's not working. Like we have to make better changes so that we can continue. And so much of this is memory. It's like the liquid regulation in the body, and we store our memory inside the liquid in our cells. And so this week, moving that memory, there's almost like a smell that comes with failure. Like maybe you can smell failure as you build this instinctive stream. And maybe you can smell success. Maybe you can get a whiff of that like coming towards you. And so it's very like instinctive and material. And it's very much about that memory. We can subconsciously run from our own memories because we think that the future is going to be like the past, but the future doesn't equal the past. And if we can be present right now, we will be fully prepared to respond and survive and continue. And it's simple when you look at a squirrel. You know, a squirrel doesn't need anything at all to be a squirrel. He doesn't need to go buy the latest nutcracker or nut barrier. Like, he's got these instincts and he flows with life. His life works because he lives. What he needs is there for him to have, and he is present enough to respond to what's happening now. So he's like a part of life. He can respond to change and keep his little tribe safe. But it's like where we're at in time, humans are too busy to protect us because they're running around trying the next app, arguing about the Hunger Game elections, and they're not realizing that we are struggling to continue, like as a tribe and as a collective. And when we aren't looking at the people and we're looking at what we could do, should do, next new thing, you know, it's like we end up with all these holes in our plans and there's missing information, there's problems happening, things aren't working, and we just didn't realize that we abandon ourselves for things that will not help us take care of ourselves, right? We've got to get like really selective in understanding like what we actually need to do and what's actually going to work. And also, like, we're seeing huge levels of confusion. Like, the tribe is so confused. We are witnessing natural disasters that our governments fail to take care of. And then AI is creating fake pictures that the older generations then share on Facebook because they think it's real. Like, no one knows what's real right now. Bear just brought up this morning, he was like, people aren't even telling people how to make money anymore. They're just trying to market them like scams and payday loans so that they end up owing money. It's like everything is so impractical today. Nothing is working for the human. Humans are working for the technology because it's like it's too fast from the top down. And so, like, think of your boss at work, you know, think of financial decision makers, think of leaders of community. They're looking around, they're like, what can be transformed? What can create abundance for my family, my tribe, my people? And they're avoiding confrontation and truth. And it's because they're afraid. They're running around making spontaneous decisions, running away. They're running away from the people that are right in front of them. They're being unaccountable and they're not listening. They're insensitive to other people's realities. It's like kind of delusional. You know, it's like your boss can put 25 apps on you and expect you to learn all of those. But if you can't, you can't. And if he's not willing to listen to you, tell him you can't do that. You know, we're starting to see such massive breakdowns because humans have to accept their limitations if they're going to live a comfortable and healthy life altogether. And the real problem is that no one wants to hear that we need to make a change. No one wants to hear that something's failing, that something's not working. Like, they all take it personally. They make it all about them. And what I would love for all of us to do is let it be for the good of the office. You know, like, if it's time for a change, then let's do that all together because it's going to help all of us here. Like, if you let it be about the people, then you're only going to do healthy changes versus just grabbing things out of fear and trying to do whatever you can so that you don't look like you failed. And we have to know that change can happen anytime. It's the only permanent thing. We can look at these things and be like, is this change going to help us or is it going to hurt us? You know, it's like, it's so simple. Look at your 85 apps and then ask yourself, could I do all of this in Google Sheets? Like, could that be more practical and save me more time and less like emotional labor of switching between programs and, you know, all the things that come with the way that things are looking right now? It's so much. And so as we move forward in this energy, you know, look at yourself, look at your people, say, what can be transformed? How can we improve our life, our continuity, and make it about that and not about the next new whatever the hell, you know, that doesn't matter at all. It's about these people. Okay, so all of this tribal change, this conservation, this continuity, it is grounded in collective energy, and it's the power to complete a collective experience. It's called diversification. And this is literally energy to commit to life experience. And when you look at the lines, it's growth through expansion or too much expansion leading to decadence. And so let's talk about decadence. To me, decadence is just social degeneration, you know, and I think it's something that is clearly seen at the end of global rounds. It's like this decline is observable. And you can see it in praising artificial over nature, praising sophistication over simplicity. You can see it in extravagance, weakness, sexual deviance, because at some point in time, progress turns into decay. activity becomes play instead of goal oriented, and then we're not doing anything anymore. And people start to be like, art is life and all of this stuff. And it's like new, shiny object, microwave, get rich quick, popcorn, fast life, society type of stuff, you know? And I think that this really happens when a human becomes disconnected from time, like the time that they're living right now. They've seen it all, they've done it all. It's a result of globalization, and it's such a let them eat cake energy. You know, Marie Antoinette in her giant mansion, um, in her garden, making her cakes, throwing her parties, doing all of this extravagant shit, while all these people are out on the street just starving. You know, it's like she can sit on her couch and say that art is life, but if she just steps outside, she might form some different opinions. You know, it's like decadence can be such a blind energy. And you know, newsflash, these people get their heads cut off. They can't do that forever because they're stopping people from below them from gaining the opportunity to get the experience, right? And humans need experience. Like going from one experience to another is literally how we learn. And so once the experience starts getting halted, it's like we have to try to go beyond the norm, and we have to try to do something new, but we don't have the power to do so. We don't have the energy or the money or the time, because it's all being funneled to the people who are calling art and life the same thing. And so that's why it's so collective. You know, it's really like this top down, bottom up process. And when we put, you know, maybe we could like dig a little deeper into this and say that this begins to happen when we're putting our energy in too many places. Our energy starts getting fed off to others, and we really don't realize that we're doing that. And when we're doing that, we're breaking commitments and promises. You know, maybe we feel guilty because we're unable to finish things. And there's no accountability, like on to the next thing, not learning anything, hurting people, people taking that personally when they really shouldn't, because it's just that person plowing through experience because they're trying to have some type of breakthrough, understanding. You know, they're looking for some internal thing, and you don't have to see yourself as collateral damage. You know, it's like we can let people kind of move around us and jump into other things and do whatever they're going to do, because everything that everyone does is about their own self, their own experiences, their own past. And so the real question is, how diversified should you be? You know, how far out should you spread yourself before you're spread too thin? How many things should you commit to? You know, how many people, places, hobbies, experiences, extracurricular activities? There's so many things that we can commit to today, even like watching a show. It's like, how many things should you commit to? Are you doing too much? And you can watch this whole thing and you can know when to leave. When your energy is being eaten up and you're not getting things in return, it's time for you to go. You know, you deserve to have equal energy exchanges. And if you're not getting that, then move on and find someone who's capable of giving you that equal energy exchange. You moving on could very well be how they become the person capable of going to the next level in an equal energy exchange, but they have to realize that they're not acting right. You know, like they need the experience to make a new decision or see things in a different way. And so equal energy exchange or bust, you know, honor yourself, do what you need to do, respond to life from your authority. And that's that. Over the next 6 days, we're asking, what can we transform? What can I commit to? And I hope you guys have a great week. I'll be back on Tuesday. Um, um, I thought I had one more thing, but I can't remember it. If I remember, I will put it in the description of this live. So yeah, love you guys. Live life, love yourself today, and I'll see you guys soon.